Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good whatever time of day it is that I'm talking to you right now. This is the Don't Stifle Me podcast, and I am your host, Jacob Stiefel. I'm a singer-songwriter and touring artist based in Nashville, Tennessee. And I was sitting around thinking one day, I've met a lot of cool people, some funny people, some crazy people. And I thought, why not just sit down and talk with them and record it and have a podcast where I, find out what makes them tick and why they do what they do. So that's what you're listening to right now. That's what this is. And by the way, if you are interested, I do have CDs available of my own that are on Amazon and iTunes and all those facets of purchasing. And I have merchandise and tour dates up at jacobstifle.com. And coming up, I will be in Maryville, Tennessee at the Shed this Saturday, May 6th. Nashville, Tennessee, Friday, May 19th at the Sutler Saloon. And in Fort Payne, Alabama on Saturday, May 20th at the Third Friday Festival in downtown Fort Payne. All right, on with the show. Well, the Wikipedia definition of Americana music, for those of you who don't know, is an amalgam of American folk music, specifically those sounds that emerge from folk, country, blues, rhythm and blues, rock and roll, and other external influences. Well, that fits my friend Don Gallardo here to a T. A bearded California hippie relocated to Nashville, who I've known for 7 years, and in the 7 years that I've known him, I've never heard a bad word said about him. You should definitely check out Don's music, but first, you should check him out right here, and you'll get a great vibe for the kind of artist he is, but also the kind of person he is. So here it is, my talk with my very talented and very good friend, Don Gallardo. Don Gallardo, what's up, man?
Hey, dude, how's it going, Jacob?
How long has it been since I haven't seen you?
Was this
I feel like it might have been like 3 years ago.
Yeah, I think it was.
We swap a text message, I think, every 6 months or so. But
it's exactly it.
And I used to would think that would be thought of as offensive, but I think more you get in the business and the more people you know and the more things you're doing and you know that your friends are also doing things, it's not it's not offensive.
Not at all. For me, it's just like, hey, man, it means that I like you. Really.
Right, yeah.
It is. Yeah. If you're getting something from me, it's like, hey, man, what's up? How you doing?
And your response, especially if you get a response, you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Even if it's a week later, they thought of it, Where are you from, man?
Well,
start at the beginning. Back at the beginning.
Where am I from? I'm from Fairfax, California.
California.
Yeah, it's northern. It's like north of San Francisco, south of Napa.
Okay.
And
born and raised?
Born and raised there. Then I went to college in northern California. Is actually kind of right at the tip of the Central Valley. This place called Chico, California. I lived there for about 8 years. Graduated in 5. Played music for about 3. Was in a bluegrass band and a jam
you're just blowing
band.
by. Hey, we got plenty of time to talk here, Don.
Well, I was just kind of cutting to where
Is that the? That's like the prelude. What do you call it? The summary. Like when you're doing a speech, the first paragraph is what you're going to talk about in the speech.
There you go.
And then you go back and you actually talk about those things. Because I want to know the essence of what makes Don Gallardo Don Gallardo.
Wow.
That's what we're here for.
That's a good question. I wish someone could answer other than me.
I want to talk about the things that make you uncomfortable.
That
later you're like, ooh, I don't know if I should have said that. That's the good stuff.
Yeah.
Except business. We don't talk about that.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about
music and people
and things. We're going to talk about all kinds of controversial things like government and abortion and all kinds. No, I'm just kidding. We're not talking. We won't get into that.
Lord, is it? It's unbelievable right now with all the people just back at each other constantly. Every day on Facebook, it's like, man, can you just please touch on something positive?
Or if you disagree with somebody, maybe just be okay with disagreeing.
Right.
Like, I'm sure you and I probably don't agree on a lot of things, but if we talked about it and you thought something different than me, I'd be like, oh, well, that's not what I think, but okay.
Right. Totally. Same here.
It's a crazy thing.
I have a buddy that he thinks like because I think differently than him, and we're still great friends, but he's like, yeah, I would never talk anything with him because Don would just get upset about it. I'm like, no, I wouldn't. I would be like, cool, if that's how you, if you believe that, then cool, man, good for you. You know?
Yeah, my buddies from high school, they always call me a hippie and all this stuff, like it's some kind of like
Put down or something.
Put down, yeah, like it's an insult for me to be
really?
an open-minded
Thanks,
person.
man.
So Northern California, you're a little bit of a hippie then.
Mm-hmm.
I assume. That's my blind, ignorant Alabama way of thinking.
No, it's totally you're true because the town I grew up in is a super hippie town, and it was so basically back in the late '60s when everyone moved out of San Francisco, they moved across the Golden Gate Bridge, or into South Bay, but most of them moved over the Golden Gate into a place called Marin County, which is now super ritzy, except the town I'm from is still pretty hippie. But back in the 60s, so the Grateful Dead all moved over there, Jefferson Airplane, Van Morrison, actually, when he first moved his parents from Ireland to the United States, he moved them into Fairfax, my town.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, and they actually they literally, within like about a year of being there, they opened up a little record store in our town.
Yeah.
And it was hard to understand them because they had the super Irish dialect, you know?
Is that where he got that weird singing voice from?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Yeah, so we had Elvin Bishop's from there. Yeah, all the tons of...
So you grew up in Vibe City.
Yeah, it was pretty amazing. There's like, my whole life of living there was about, there's 3 bars that had live music 7 days a week. In a teeny little town. It's a small town, but it was just vibrant because everyone would go out and hang out. I mean, almost every night you could go out and you'd see people.
So were your parents like big hippies, I guess? When were they?
Well, no. I mean, I think back in the day.
Yeah.
But then
former hippies.
After they had me and my brothers, they foregone the hippiness.
How many brothers do you have?
I've got an older brother and a younger brother.
Okay.
Yeah. And so,
middle child.
Yeah, that's me, the middle man. Yeah, they. My dad is actually. He saw like Jimi Hendrix twice, The Doors, Janis Joplin. I mean, he's seen like everything under the. But now he's like super, not hippie.
Yeah,
he's a very conservative man, which is cool. You know, everyone's got their own.
Yeah,
everyone lives their own life and does their thing, and he supports what I do, so that's good.
What'd your parents do?
My dad was a UPS driver for years, and then he got into management after that, and so that's...
In UPS management?
UPS. So he worked for UPS for like 35 years.
What about your mom?
She basically didn't do much. I mean, she worked at the school that I went to a little bit as like a yard.
Well, this was when you were growing up. It was like the late 1800s, early 1900s. So
correct.
Women didn't do much.
So she had her bonnet, and she made butter. And she cured.
Oh, how's the coffee? I ask everybody that. That's kind of, I guess that's a
good,
thing
man.
here. Yeah,
that's good. Yeah, we. My mom actually worked in the library as well at the schools that I went to.
Legitimately,
the schools that I went to.
Yeah,
she was basically. She didn't. I think she might have got paid. For a couple years doing stuff, but she'd also do stuff as volunteer and stuff.
Yeah, well, she just wanted to keep an eye on you.
Yeah, probably.
I'm sure that you were probably raising hell and throwing stuff.
Not me. My older brother was like that. I was the.
Were you? I guess the typical. I heard somebody because it's just me and my sister. But I heard somebody describing the middle child as like the more loner, solo, like do your own thing kind of person. Was that you growing up? Or was that?
I think we all hung out a lot together. I think in my family, the way it went was my older brother would like get into a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
And then, because he kind of got to do, what he wanted to, and then he got in trouble a lot. So then when I came along, I was just like, he's grounded for putting a pencil on a notepad, not in the drawer or something. You know what I mean? Like, I never got grounded for that, but I did get grounded for answering the telephone one night.
So they were more strict with you.
Yeah, super strict. I was literally grounded all the time. And then once they realized they were too strict with me, my younger brother got to do whatever he wanted. So.
Oh, well, that's just nice.
Yeah, middle brother, man. Middle child, that's what I was.
When I was growing up, my best friend had a little brother that was a few years younger than us. And anytime I would go over to their house, every time it seemed like they were doing chores. They were like weeding the flower bed or whatever, washing their parents' cars or something, until my best friend and I graduated and then went to college. And then every time we would go back, their parents had gotten a cleaning person, like lawn-mowing person to do all these things, and his little brother would just be like chilling on the couch watching TV.
That's amazing.
For 3 years.
Yeah, that's what happens. The youngest always gets like handed a
pampered and stuff.
Yeah, for sure. I'm pretty sure that's how it goes, unless they're troublemakers. So.
Yeah, I think I wasn't a troublemaker. I don't think I was necessarily pampered, but I guess I say that. I guess that means I was probably pampered. I don't know.
Yeah, well, you never know.
I was always tore up because the whole scenario, the first child, there's always all the pictures and the picture albums of every moment of their life.
Yeah.
And then the second child is like, there's 4 pictures of me between the ages of 0 and 4. Because
we were talking about that when I was back. The last time I was back visiting, I think it was last January, and my mom was saying there was like barely anything of my younger brother.
Yeah.
Because they took so many of all. They're like, they had already gone through it twice, and they're like, there's a little bit here and there.
Right. And you got to think, while that younger brother was doing stuff that there could have been taking pictures of, they were trying to lasso the older 2 brothers that were running around, throwing and breaking things and not putting pencils away.
Not me.
So when did you start playing music? When did you get into that whole shebang?
I think when I was like 12, I started. I was listening. My parents were real big on listening to music when we were kids. So growing up, we had the. Is this what's making the noise, or you're not hearing that in the microphone?
Which noise?
The scratching. That's just me hearing it, right? We're good. No,
Yeah.
It's me. It's me.
Okay.
It's not you. It's me. Sorry.
I've heard that before.
Sorry. We got to break up, Jacob.
Yeah. Again.
So my parents had a really huge vinyl collection, and they would listen like nights on weekends and stuff, or even weekdays. My parents would just crank up records and stuff. So, we'd listen to the Beatles. My dad was Beatles, my mom was Elvis. Mm-hmm. And so we got everything in between, everything from like Sam Cooke to Al Green to Stevie Wonder, CCR, Queen, Elton John.
It's a good upbringing.
It was just like constantly listening to music. And so me and my brothers would basically, back, the lyrics were always in the records. So we'd fight over, the lyrics and stuff, which was kind of,
the insert.
We'd always like, I get to hold it this time and read along, but, so I'd always kind of like, we'd sing along and stuff, and I'd be in the back room singing, and my parents would like make fun of me, say that I sound like the next door neighbor's cat screaming and stuff.
It's terrible.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. But I started writing songs when I was 12, like poems and basically songs really, and I still have them actually.
That's cool.
They're in a little cigar box. My dad smoked cigars every once in a while, but I kept one of the cigar boxes, and that's where I put all my tunes, and they're pretty hilarious, man. Like I pull them out every once in a while, and it's you left me, and my heart's broken, and I cried all night. But I was 12 years old. Like when did I ever?
I think I started.
Who left me at 12?
15 or so. Yeah, right. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty. They're hilarious. So I was singing.
12-year-old heartbroken.
Yeah, it is right. Yeah, everyone knows that 12-year-old heartbroken. So I was singing a lot, and then in high school I started there was a local band in high school, and I kind of went in to audition for them, and then they asked me to be part of the band. And
that's cool.
I turned it down because I was playing baseball, and I just didn't do it. So then I think I started playing guitar when I probably around 20 years old.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it was later, 21. I moved away and went to college, and when I was there, I was in this fourplex, and I was up in one of the top apartment complexes, and one of the guys downstairs was walking out just a beater junker guitar to the trash box. There was like a big dumpster out in front. And I'm like, hey, I was up there probably drinking a beer and doing other things. Yeah. And I was like listening to music. So I was like, hey, what are you doing with that? And he's like, I'm throwing it in a dumpster. And I was like, well, no, I'll take that. I walked down and I grabbed it, and that was like my first guitar. And I had a buddy that played music, and he just taught me the basic 5 chords. Yeah. And so
no lessons or anything?
No, never.
It's interesting.
I actually
talking to people.
I want to take them now. Like right now. I'm not joking. Like I've actually reached out to a couple friends and said, I'd love to sit down. I took like about 3 or 4 from one of my buddies 2 years ago, and I learned a little bit, and it's really interesting,
I tell people I'll be out playing a show somewhere, and somebody will tell me, like, man, I always wanted to play the guitar, and I always tell them, well, you're not dead yet,
right?
You can always learn new things. Just because you reach the age of 25 or whatever, you don't have to stop learning things.
Right.
So I know guys that are great guitar players that still take lessons.
Right.
I mean, it's you should always be growing and learning, and
never be content with what you got going. Ever. That's what I love about you. You're a hard-working guy. You're always out doing stuff. You got tons of stuff going on, for me, when I relate to other artists and friends in the music industry, there's actually, a couple different ways I look at him. One is like, this dude's always hard. This guy's working his butt off. He's not letting other people do it for him. He's always trying to do something one way or another. And then there's these other folks that are like super talented that other people do things for, or they're just kind of, it's all good.
Yeah,
I'm a songwriter.
I've just never. I mean, it always, like, folks. I know if you get tired of this, I'm not sorry, but I always refer to things that my dad told me, and because so far in life, I'm pretty sure my dad's been right about 98, 99% of the things that he's told me to do or not to do, whether I like it or not. But I mean, even back to Little League.
Ditto here. But
even back to like T-ball and Little League baseball and anything, he always said, if you're going to do something, you do it as the best you possibly can.
Yeah.
That's all that anyone could ever ask for you. And so that just kind of always, if I'm going to do something, I'm just going to do it, as the best I can in any way possible that I can. I'm not going to sit around and hope that somebody comes and knocks on my door and says, hey, Jacob, I heard you've been thinking about starting a podcast. Let me do that for you.
Right.
Here's what you need to do. Or Jacob, you need to, somebody said you wanted to make a CD. Here's all the things you need to do, and I'll just do them for you. I never want to sit around and wait for somebody to do that.
And it ain't easy.
No, nothing's easy. Well, nothing worth doing is easy.
Right.
So you started playing guitar at 2021. Was that when you started playing gigs? Back to Don Gallardo.
I think probably around. First let me say, I don't look down on anyone that is doing anything. You know what I mean? Like when I was just saying about like these, I look at songwriters in two different ways. One that works their butt off, one that kind of does other things.
Well, there's some people.
It's all good. Everyone has their own path.
There's some people that. There's a lot of people that are a lot better songwriters and artists than me that don't have the same kind of drive and whatever, and that art still should be heard by somebody.
Yep.
So there's people across the board from A to Z that have talent, but they need somebody to grab their hand and say, "Here, I'll take you to where you need to go," and all the way across the gamut. So I don't think I really respect the way I heard Jason Isbell in an interview one time. Somebody was asking him about pop country and about mainstream contemporary songs and how that compared to what he was doing, and he said, "I don't even think of it. It's not even the same." League. Not that it's one's better than the other, but he doesn't think of it as the same genre as what he does. There are people who like whatever, Florida Georgia Line. He didn't say that. I just said that. There are people who like that kind of thing and whatever. But what he does is completely different. And I believe that about like everybody.
Right.
Nobody's the same.
Yep.
If you dig what Don Gallardo does, you should go get his music and go see him at a show.
Yeah.
But
everyone listening right now.
Everybody's going to love Don Gallardo.
Well, I don't know about that.
No, but I dig what you're saying. Like, don't look down on people for doing something different.
That's basically what I'm saying,
Yeah.
So go.
Back to.
I just wanted to clarify.
No, that's all good.
The situation.
We can go talk about what kind of cereal we like to eat. It doesn't matter. We can talk about anything we want to.
Right now, what I like.
I haven't had a good bowl of cereal.
I'll tell you what's really good.
Yeah.
So I shop at Aldi.
I've been in Aldi once.
Okay. I'm telling you, it's phenomenal.
Yeah.
And it's basically the opposite of Trader Joe's. It's
the opposite.
No, it's the same thing. It's two brothers.
Okay.
That own Trader Joe's, and one left and started Aldi.
Okay.
And so like a lot of the stuff, there's not a lot of preservatives. Here I am doing a commercial now for Aldi.
Maybe they'll give me some money for my podcast.
That'd be amazing. Yeah. We should. But like all their food, so this all relates to cereal right now at this moment in time.
Yeah, we're talking about cereal.
There's not a lot of preservatives or anything like that in all their in all their products. Everything, like everything they carry is pretty darn good for you. So they have like a Crunch Berries, Captain Crunch Berries.
It's like healthy Captain Crunch Berries.
It's better.
Quote, unquote,
it's better than Captain Crunch Berries.
Yeah.
And like the red little berries are dyed with with beets.
Oh.
Not with dye.
Not with dye. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Beets will turn anything red.
Right.
You put 79 ingredients in a smoothie, and then you put like one beet in there. It's going to be red. It's going to be a red smoothie. It's weird.
Yeah.
But I'll have to try those.
Yeah.
I think
they're delicious.
I don't know if there's an Aldi around here or not.
Well, I can tell you after the podcast where they are.
Fair enough.
Off on tangents.
So when'd you start playing live shows?
Live shows. Okay, so I picked up the guitar in 2021, and then I'd say around like 23 maybe.
Okay.
A couple years later, I started playing live shows.
Were you in college at that time?
I was in college, yeah, and my first band ever was with my younger brother. It was called the Simple Times Band.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah, because it's just simpler times. Just make it easy, man.
Those were simpler times. I don't even know anything about that point in your life, but I can imagine that it's simpler than where you are now.
Yes, it was definitely way simpler.
We always think things are complicated until like 5 years down the road, and then they're like, man, 5 years ago was great.
It was a good time. It was a good time back then. I was living in college,
Yeah.
I had a job. I was going to school.
What did you study in school?
I got a Bachelor of Science in Parks and Natural Resource Management with a
I would not have
an
guessed
option in environmental issues. And I worked for about
just to round out the California hippie.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that was kind of my outdoors. That was my thing. I worked
that's cool.
Right when I graduated. I worked on the Feather River for 2.5 years doing a Chinook salmon and steelhead trout study. And we were basically snorkeling 80% of the year.
What did you
Winter,
do? Explain that.
Summer.
This is interesting.
So snorkeling, you're in dry suits. Do you know what a dry suit is?
Oh, no, I know it. Yeah, snorkeling.
No, but a dry suit. Like you could literally, I could walk in with these jeans.
Yeah.
I could put this dry suit on with these jeans and this.
So it's not like one of those surfer suit
Get
things?
in, you zip it up, let a little bit of air out as you're getting in the water.
Yeah.
And you could step out and you're completely dry. Swimming all day.
With your clothes underneath?
Yeah, whatever you wore underneath. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, you're completely dry. It's a dry suit.
So what did you? Yeah, I got you.
We basically mapped the whole Feather River from the dam, Oroville Dam, which is the one that was in the news about 3 months ago. That was breaking, and they had to evacuate a whole town. And stuff.
Man!
So from that dam down, there was a hatchery right below the dam, and from that spot all the way down, to almost Sacramento, we mapped the whole river. We'd go out in teams of like 3 or 4 guys and gals,
like surveying,
swimming along the banks, and some down the middle. And you did fish counts, and you do even from like small little fish to giant ones, and it was basically just doing a study on the steelhead trout and how they were swimming in with schools of the Chinook salmon and stuff like that.
Huh.
Yeah,
that's really interesting. So you got paid to do that?
Yeah, it was amazing.
Sounds awesome.
Phenomenal. It was the best job I ever had.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I worked on Mount Tamalpais for about 4 years, doing building bridges and gates and trail, like
Mount what? What was that?
Mount Tamalpais. That's right across the Golden Gate Bridge.
Okay.
From San Francisco.
I'm California ignorant.
It's all good. Yeah,
I'm going to LA May the 8th.
That's
excited.
not California.
Well, I'm
just kidding.
California.
I'm just kidding.
I've never been to any part of California. I've been to the only time I've been west of Texas, I went to Elko, Nevada.
Oh yeah, wow.
Yeah, don't recommend it. Sorry, Elko. And I think I went to Wyoming once and Colorado once.
Nice. Wow. You need to get up. So you're going to LA. Nice.
Well, I've been all over from Texas to Florida to Wisconsin. That whole triangle. I've been everywhere.
Well, let's discuss California after the podcast.
Fair enough.
I've got some pointers for you.
Yeah.
I lived in LA for 2.5 years before I moved to Nashville.
Very cool. What'd you do there?
Played music.
Yeah. So okay. So
yeah,
the mountain thing. Yeah. We're zigzagging here. It's okay though. We can do whatever we want.
That's what we do.
It's the internet.
That's right. Interweb.
So this whole time you were doing the river thing and the mountain thing.
You said music and what my first band. That's how kind of. I was in college.
Yeah. So after college, what'd you do? After you got that degree?
Well, I stayed there for about 3 years in that town.
Okay.
So I was playing with my younger brother for a couple of years, and then I don't even know. We didn't get in a fight or anything because we're like best friends. We just kind of decided we weren't going to play together anymore randomly. So I started this bluegrass band called Lee Vining, and Lee Vining is this small mining town at the base of I can't remember what that lake in the Clint Eastwood movie where they have the showdown right at the edge of the lake, Mono Lake.
Okay.
Anyway, so anyway, I had this bluegrass band with a bunch of guys, and we did that for a couple, about 3 years. We played with Yonder Mountain String Band and Peter Rowan and Joe Craven and a bunch of people. We had a good time, and then that ended, and I started this other little band, and then I just moved back to where I was from. Yeah. For about 2 years, played music, maybe 3 years, and I played music down.
Did you play like those bars in your hometown?
Yeah, so I went from all that. Like I've always been kind of doing Americana, and even like in 2000, I have posters that say Americana.
Oh yeah,
in 2000, and people were
forefather of Americana.
Well, people would be like, "What's Americana? Is it some kind of Mexican American music?" I'm like, no, it's like everything. It's roots. It's like roots rock.
I think of it. I explain it to people as it's like the genre for music that doesn't belong in a particular genre.
Right.
It's because it's like the catch-all of stuff that slips through.
Blues, it's rock and roll, it's country, it's bluegrass, it's everything. It's bam, all mixed together.
I think the Wikipedia says it's an amalgam of American roots music.
There we go. That's it.
So that's what you're doing.
So I was doing that, and then decided to step out of the box a little bit, and I went to record a record, and we recorded with this 80s rock star.
Yeah.
That kind of changed our sound. We went from like playing Fenders and stuff, Fender, amps, and and then all of a sudden we all had like Marshall stacks, and we were buying all of his gear from back in the day. So we had like 1960s Marshall. I had a 1969 super bass Marshall.
Now we're talking.
Right? Yeah. And then the other guy had like a super lead and like all 60s and 70s gear. And so then we went to like this. We began to start this rock band. Then I was playing an SG and going through my 69
Now you're in
super bass.
my neighborhood.
Yeah, right. Yeah, totally. And then at one point I was just like, there's 3 guitars. We had 3 guitars, and so I'm like, screw it, I'll just sing. So I just started singing, and our band was called The Station, and then we changed it to The Fitz, Fitts, and we were actually playing down in Hollywood a bunch, and we had a lot of really good things going. We played the Whiskey.
So is that when you moved to LA?
No, we didn't.
We're just all over the place.
Yeah. So we were touring a lot as that band.
Cool. Yeah.
And then we'd play like the Whiskey A Go Go, but we never paid to play there. We literally
just booked a show.
Yeah, we would be able to do it, and things were actually really good. And then we just kind of like, I don't know, someone fell out of the band, and then we all decided to just move on. And I went back to exactly what I was doing before, doing the Americana thing.
Yeah.
And so I started doing that, and then I decided at that point I was going to move to LA, and that's when I moved to LA after I played for probably about like 6 months doing the acoustic Americana kind of thing, and then down to LA, and I was there.
What's the music scene like? I don't know. I've never
in LA.
Yeah.
Shoot, I just played there last July.
15,
No, it was 11 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah, when I left 9 years ago. I left.
Okay.
I've been in Nashville for 9 years.
Cool.
So, I moved.
Is there a lot of Americana type places to play over there?
It's just like here. I mean, there's everything, and what do we have? We have everything.
Yeah, right. Oh yeah.
There's more metal there, But
I see that.
There's not a lot of metal here, that I see around. But I was around a bunch of metalheads. I worked at this place called Red Monkey Designs, and the owner Tori, really nice guy. They make custom guitar straps for like everyone from Kerry King, all of Ozzy's band.
Oh yeah.
They actually do all the guitar straps that are on that were on. I'm not sure if they do the ones on The Voice, but they were doing it for American Idol. All the guitar straps that everyone in the bands, like the house band and the artists and stuff. So they do like tons of. They did Prince, a bunch of Prince. R.I.P.
That's cool. Yeah.
His was amazing. Had like that in-sewn cymbal, and it was purple. It was
I'm sure his was.
cute.
Yeah,
dude, it was amazing. But they do really good work, and I was hanging out with all those guys, and those guys were all like, huge metalheads, and it was cool. I mean, I had a great time with all those guys. And there's the scene there is everything,
Yeah.
Singer-songwriter, piano singers, and pop, punk,
cool.
the whole spiel. Yeah.
So how was were you just kind of doing one project to another, and then did you have at that point? Did you have ultimate goals or whatever that you were kind of working
that's
toward?
kind of when I first started creating. I don't like to call it like it was when I started creating my own, my own product, I guess.
Figuring out what Don Gallardo was.
Exactly. I had a band there called Days Long Gone, which ended up being a song of mine later that was in the television show Vampire Diaries.
Mm-hmm.
But it was Don Gallardo and Days Long Gone, and I was just kind of doing my thing, writing songs and recording them at home, and pitching stuff, and doing that. And then I flew out here in October of 2007. I flew to Nashville to have a meeting, and sat down at a table with a ton of people, and they were all like big people in the music industry. I wasn't having the meeting with them. This is later on after the meeting. I hung out with all these people that were just, one worked for CMT, one worked for Warner Brothers, one worked for all just hanging out with these people, and they were real. Like, no one was out to prove that they were better than anyone else. Where it kind of felt like that, in Los Angeles at the time back then, it was pretty I me mine, and out to show up the next person, Like, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, I'm doing this,
I've met a lot of those people, I can imagine.
Right, yeah. So that's what it was. Then I came here, and it was this breath of fresh air of like, wow, no one, they're actually asking me what I'm doing, and they don't want me to ask them. Yeah. Like what they're doing. Because, I felt like when I lived in Los Angeles at that time, it was like people would ask you, how are you doing? Because they wanted you to ask them so they could tell you. You know what I mean? It was kind of that
totally
thing.
For sure.
And I had a lot of friends there that were, some really, like, I have some friends there that are pretty big movie stars, and they are the most down-to-earth people that weren't like that. So I kind of found my niche of steering away from the people that
I think, unfortunately, when you moved here, I think you brought some of those people from LA here, because I've met a lot of those people here in the last
3 years. Yeah. Come on. I've been here 9.
It's not Don's fault.
I've been here 9 years.
But no, it's tough. It's like you meet somebody, and I heard Sturgill Simpson say this, but it's like you go out and you meet somebody, and when you're shaking their hand, they're already looking over your shoulder to see who else is in the room that they should go meet. Instead of
that's funny,
just talking with you and figuring it out.
Well, that's what I felt when I came here, and everyone was just
right. And I'm not talking shit about that. I mean, there are still those great people.
There's tons of great people everywhere. It's just really where you go and who you find. Mm-hmm. In every city, you're going to have that exact same person that I just told you about. You know, but you got to find you pick and choose your wars. But when I sat at this table with all these people, it was just I was like, wow, this is amazing. And then I flew home, and I got there, and I told my roommate, I said, I'm moving to Nashville. Yeah. He's like, what? I said, yep. I'm like, off one trip? I said, yep. And he was actually, my roommate was from Nashville, born and bred, but lived in LA for about, I think he was there for 20 years. But yeah, it was so then I moved here then. I moved January 2008, which was 3 months after I flew out here.
So did you have, at any point in these snaking journeys, did you have like relationship, marriages, or anything along that, at that point?
Yeah, I definitely had some relationships here and there.
I guess you can.
I'm married now.
Years and years. When did you get married?
We've been married 7 years. 7 years. 7 years. Well, see, my kid was born 10 days before our wedding. Now I'm confused. Oh Lord, what a bad dad.
No.
So there's September 20th and 30th are the two dates.
I got you.
In question. Yeah. 20th is Ryder's birthday, so he was born 10 days before our anniversary. Okay. So I always get those flip flops.
What's his name?
Ryder.
Ryder. R-Y?
R-H-Y-D-E-R.
That's cool.
Middle name is Rigby. R-I-G-B-Y. And that's named
cool.
after, Rigby's after Eleanor Rigby. She had a list of names. Ryder was one of them. And I'm a big fan of the Grateful Dead. So they have this song, I Know You. There's an old traditional song they did called I Know You, Ryder.
Oh,
so I picked that. That was my choice.
Very cool. So
that was my underlying choice.
Did you meet her here?
Yeah. Yeah.
So, you'd moved here 07, is that what you said?
I've actually met her when I was on my meeting in 07.
Ah.
And then...
Well, she hooked you. That's why you moved here.
Well.
So y'all are still married? That's a good thing.
Some might say
that's
that.
a good thing.
Yeah.
How does she handle the whole being here and then not being here and then being here and then not being here and music artist craziness? What does she do?
She's pretty good about it. She's really good about it. Anyone married to someone that does what we do is like, it's hard, man. You know, it's almost like we're that I me mine person. You know what I mean? In that world, because everything for us revolves around music. Everything we talk about is music. And I'm sure it was fun for the first 3 years or so, but now I'm sure she's just like, whatever, music, whatever.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
At least one of my past relationships ended because I remember my ex said, I just feel like you love your music more than me. And in my head, I was thinking, oh, that was a bad thing to say. I've got no good response to that.
You're like,
Yeah, so that was the end of that.
It's not that, it's hard for anyone that doesn't play music to really understand how much you have to put into it and how much you have to sacrifice really to do what we do. I mean, you know it.
And you can't turn it off.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like you go to work and then you leave work.
Right.
It's
every day. I mean, you're getting phone calls, text messages, emails.
Yeah, or you're in a conversation and you stop and think, oh, that'd be a good song. I should make a note of that.
Right.
And it's a blessing and a curse.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so you're in Nashville and moved here. And did you know many people?
I didn't know a soul.
Yeah.
Not one person. Well, I knew my roommates in LA, his sister was here, but we, if I see her, I'm like, hey, what's up? How's it going? But we didn't really hang out too much, because she had a job that she was, really, she started a media business. And so she was head into that,
Yeah.
And so basically I didn't know a soul, and I just moved here and
jumped in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Met a bunch of people, and I've been friends with people for years since, I still remember from 9 years ago that,
I remember I met you. We both used to play at Big Shots.
I don't say that name anymore.
Somebody asked me if I'd go there. I was like, no, absolutely
I've never
not.
stepped foot back in there since.
Yeah, I haven't been back in like 2 or 3 years.
Yeah,
whenever all the stuff that we're not going to talk about went down.
Exactly.
But
that's why I don't say the name.
It
was amazing. It was amazing at the time, but it was only amazing because of a certain entity.
Right.
But,
yeah. But I have such twisted feelings on it because it's one of those things. It's like going through a war or through some hellish thing with somebody. Like there was good and bad things about. I don't know. It's weird. But like we wouldn't be here sitting here talking about all these things.
Yeah, for sure.
If it hadn't been for that.
And there's a lot of there's a ton of friends. I mean, you know it.
Yeah.
I mean, how many people?
Half
tons
of my friends in town are from playing downtown.
Right. Yeah,
mostly there.
Yeah, for sure.
But I used to wake up on
all my rowdy friends.
Yeah, for a year. Let's see, all of 2010, I lived in an apartment on the second floor on 2nd Avenue, right across from Big Shots.
Oh, and really?
Right above the spaghetti factory.
Where Windows in the Cumberland used to be, like in that,
I'm not sure.
That used to be in that vicinity.
Yeah. And so I was playing there all the time.
Yeah.
And
we were back to back.
It was the blurriest year of my life because I would sleep until whenever, lunch, 1, 2 o'clock, and then get dressed somehow and slide down to Big Shots and start playing an acoustic gig or drinking or both.
Well, your gear was always in the back.
I didn't even take anything home. I just left it at the bar.
In the back. I remember that. I remember
but on
having
Saturdays,
to get around it to pick up, get stuff.
Damn it, Jacob, move your amp. That one too. But yeah, so Friday nights I'd play there like super late, and then on Saturdays y'all played like what 11 to 2,
1 to 4,
1 to 4.
Yeah, we were 1 to 4.
It seems so early in my memory, but that's not that early. But yeah, I would wake up.
Well, for us, it was super early for us. I mean,
I would somehow wake up at like 1:30 or 2 and think, "Oh, Don's playing. I want to go see him." So
then
go
you
to
guys
Peanut
play
Pit.
after or Adam Fisher.
Yeah. It was one of those those times that we'll talk about for years to come.
Yeah, and I always whenever I had friends in town, we'd always go to Roberts. You always got to go to Roberts. There's no other place you take someone other than Roberts.
Yeah, anytime somebody asked me,
and then
where
if I
should we
knew
go?
you were playing, I'd bring them down to Big Shots.
You're too kind.
It's true.
Well,
I'd always come and see you guys and Fisher.
It was a good time. It was a good time there for a while.
Lots of
But yeah, I
shots
always tell people
Fireball.
Yeah, so much Fireball.
Oh Lord, I think I drank enough Fireball at that place to last a lifetime.
I don't know how they. Yeah, I don't know how they. For a while there, I don't know how they made money.
It was in the machine.
We were all just drinking Fireball, all the time,
constantly.
Oh, and it was so like I don't even like Fireball, people, and that's how
nor do I.
Yeah,
it was like it would just show up on a platter, like one of those.
It's
little,
here.
There was what 6 of us. We kind of had like those old Crow kind of.
Yeah, it was very bandish. Like the
band,
Crow,
old Crow,
the band. Yeah, it was.
It was kind of like that. We kind of this bluegrass band, Grateful Dead kind of thing. Basically, it was kind of like if you could throw what we did in that front window. It was like the band, Grateful Dead, and Old Crow Medicine Show together.
Yeah,
like
very much
one thing, and
for sure.
Which is kind of strange. Joe, our mandolin guy, he is in Old Crow Medicine Show now.
Really?
Yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah.
They're so good.
Yeah, he just played on the new record that I'm working on too. He did a little Mando on.
Yeah, new record coming out soon. We'll talk about that.
Yeah.
But yeah, people, if you come to Nashville, because people ask me, where's the one spot to go downtown for music? Yeah, Roberts, all day, every day. That's the only place where it's guaranteed to be good. Now, a lot of other places might be good, might not, probably not. But depending on the day and time. But it's always good at Roberts.
Acme, if you want to break from the country,
Acme's
Acme's great because they got like R&B, they got rock, they got country, they basically do the full gamut.
Acme's
and you
like
don't have to play covers. You don't if you don't.
Yeah, Acme's the only place I know of that locals, like people that are from Nashville,
go hang out,
will go downtown
and play.
Acme. Yeah,
hang out and play.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So you mentioned the new record coming out. You want to talk about talk a little bit about that? Anything?
Yeah.
Anything you can tell us?
I can tell you that right now we've got a great core of musicians on it. We've got Dave Rowe, who played with Johnny Cash for 12 years.
Yeah.
On bass. Brian Owings on drums, who he was Emmylou's drummer for about 5 years and played on every Buddy Miller record.
Do you know how many songs are going to be on?
We recorded 13. There's going to be 10.
Yeah.
Then
you give the other 3 to me,
sure,
just to listen to while I'm sitting in the office.
There's things to be said. Those 3 could be used for a whole bunch of different stuff.
Oh, yeah.
If they end up getting finished. Right now we're at a spot where we might just finish the 10 and then have those other 3 sitting back, or we really don't know. You don't know at this point, but yeah. And then we got Micah Holscher on organ and keys. He played with Emmylou for a couple of years, and now he's in Margot Price's band.
Oh yeah,
he played on my last.
She's killing
record.
it right now.
Yeah, she's doing great. Yeah. I met her 9 years when she moved here.
Really?
Yeah,
she's so good in like
Buffalo Clover, man. We did
cool way.
Yeah, she's never changed. She's always been the exact same person. Yeah,
that's great.
What you see now is what she's always been.
Yeah,
so she was in a band called Buffalo Clover back in the day that we played with a ton, and.
Yeah, I've heard her talk about that in interviews and stuff. Yeah,
actually, I think I want to say, and I'm pretty positive. I mean, I'm like 99.9%, but her first show after Buffalo Clover as Margot Price, it was Margot Price and the Price Tags, and Derek Hoke, who runs the $2 Tuesday at the 5 Spot, named the Price Tags. He just said it that night on stage, and it was just Margot Price. But her rhythm guitar player that night was Sturgill Stimson.
Really?
Yeah, he does before he was doing.
Yeah,
he's always been doing stuff, but like that, he was the rhythm guitar player for. It's pretty cool.
That guy's a nut. He's so good.
Yeah. Ain't that the truth?
Yeah.
There's so many talented people in this town, so you just got to keep on, put your head down and work your butt off, and make sure that what you're doing is relevant every time you do it.
Yeah, and find people who dig it.
Yeah,
and that's which sometimes can be the hardest part.
Yeah. It's a new record. So yeah, we're still working on it. We got a lot to go. I'm hoping to release it in the fall, in September.
Cool.
Hopefully.
So you going back to Europe soon?
I'll be going to the UK. June. I fly out June 28th, and I come back July 24th. And
how often go out there? Pretty good bit, right?
It's been twice a year for the last 6 years, but every once in a while we'll skip it to once a year. So last year we went once.
They love the Don Gallardo.
Well, I don't know. And people always say that in interviews, and I'm like, I don't know if love is they tolerate me.
They like you enough to stand in a room and listen to you sing songs.
Yes, this is true. I mean, it's the best audience in the world. I love it, and it's so fun. Right, this coming tour, we've got some couple great festivals. Maverick Festival. I've played a couple times, and this time I'm on the main stage on Saturday. It's a Friday, Saturday, Sunday show, so main stage on the Saturday is actually pretty awesome. I'm pretty excited about that. And Justin Townsend Earl's doing it. He's on the same stage. And then we're doing Truck Festival, which is already sold out, and that is with like Franz Ferdinand, All Them Witches, The Libertines. There's a huge list of it's pretty rad festival. So we got some good. I'm excited about this tour coming up. Travis, my bass player, who he's been playing with me for the last 7 years. He usually gets to go for only a couple weeks, but he gets to go the whole time this time.
Is he the one that sings like the high harmony? I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think. He was playing with you.
He's always always plays with me.
Yeah, I love that guy.
Yeah.
What's your favorite place to play when you go to UK or over there? Not ignorant American way of saying. When you go over that way.
Everywhere, really. I mean, I love the Maverick Festival. It's amazing. It's this really cool festival. It's on a farm.
Where is that?
I think it's West Sussex. No, East Sussex. It's Suffolk County. Is what it is. It is. I don't think it's County Suffolk. Is what it's called. Sorry, they're gonna get mad at me for that. It's on this farm, and it's like all the stages. Like one stage is under.
If they're listening enough to get mad, then I'm happy.
That's good.
Welcome to the podcast, UK folks.
I have friends in the UK. I love you guys. I can't wait to see you. So all the stages are in like one's in this old barn and this other one's in this there's only 2 walls on this one other barn where another stage is, and it's just a really cool. It flows really well from artist to artist. It doesn't matter where you go, whatever stage you go to. There's always going to be good people. It's family friendly. There's a huge playground for kids. Kids can just walk around and just do their thing without their parents, and there's you can sleep in teepees if you want. You can rent a teepee or a bell tent, or it's pretty awesome.
Very cool. So not necessarily talking about the playing or the music or the fans. What's your favorite place to visit? Like things to see? I know
all of it. Seriously, I'm not.
There's no one spot where every time we go here, there's a cool little pub on the corner I like to go to.
Everywhere, man. I just love it. I love the old. I love the history. I want
to go sometime.
I love the architecture. Oh man, everyone should. I mean, the architecture is great. The people are just amazing. There's nothing I could negatively say about that amazing place.
Yeah,
it's trains and. Yeah, this is the funny thing. So when how we tour, right? So over here, we'll get in the car and drive 7 hours to a gig.
Right.
When you tell someone like, "Oh man, well we got a gig here and we got a gig here," and like, "That's 3 hours, man. What are you talking about? You can't 3 hours, 3 hours." And you're like, "What? 3 hours is nothing." They're like, for them it's a day.
Yeah. It's like there's 3 hours between every gig I play.
Yeah, totally.
That's the minimum.
Right, totally. I just did my last tour. I did 3,500 miles in 10 days or not 7 days.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did like Chicago to Indianapolis, Indianapolis to Kalamazoo, Michigan to New Jersey. It was insanity.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry, I was doing all the distance in my head on the map.
That was in 3 days, right there. What
3 days. Ooh. So, any upcoming shows like around the area?
May 4th, which would be 2 days after this might air.
Yeah.
We're doing the Fontanelle is putting on a back porch series, and they have this old log cabin
I've heard a lot about there.
They've done a whole, oh man, they've redone that whole place. But they've
that's here in Nashville.
That is White Creek area.
Okay,
and so we're doing it's a evening back porch sessions, and they have the full sound system, and it's on this giant log cabin back porch. It's free for anyone, and families and kids all welcomed. I believe it starts at 6 p.m. and it goes to 8:30.
Yeah.
So it'll be fun. It's sponsored by Champion Car Wash. My friends Paula and Tim. What's that?
6 starts at 6. Thursday, May 4th starts at 6. Sorry, I'm thinking about my own calendar in my head if I can go or not. I'm not sure. Cool. And where else are you playing? What else are you
Sunday, May 21st, we'll be at the Bluebird.
Ooh, the Bluebird. You know what?
I'll bring the band. I get to bring the band, and not full drums, but like snare brushes.
Sunday, May
21st.
21st.
Yeah.
I want to go. Can I come?
Yeah.
Can I get a ticket or something?
I'll get you in.
This is what I do.
I'll see what I can. So here,
I've never been to the Bluebird.
Okay.
I've lived here 8 years. I've never been to the Bluebird.
I've played it a couple times. I think I played it 3 times. I did it once with Andrew Combs and Corby Lanker, and I can't remember what that girl's name was that did that with. It was like a little that was on the floor, 4 on the floor.
Yeah.
And then I've done the stage with my band, and then I've also done 4 artists on the stage. It's cool, man. You know what? I have nothing bad to say about that place. It's great. Yeah. They've done amazing things for people for years and years. It's still top-notch people play there. Great songwriters. I will try to get you in. My manager got me into. I'm going to be in this new documentary coming out called "The Real Singers of Nashville," and I went and interviewed and performed at Ocean Way Studios on Music Row, and they sent me like a 5-minute trailer of what they've filmed so far.
Yeah.
And man, it looks,
sounds cool.
I mean, man,
if it's legitimate, if it's legitimately the Real Singers of Nashville, that's what more people need to see.
I was blown away by just the professionalism of the editing, everything about it. I was like, whoa, this is killer. So the people that are doing that want to come to the Bluebird to film that night. So they're having a meeting with the people at the Bluebird, I think, this coming week to find out. So,
awesome. Do you know, is that going to be like on Netflix or anything?
I think it's coming out they want it to come out this next December, so they're trying to get it into Sundance next year.
Okay.
And then all the other festivals and other things. So.
Yeah, more people need to see like the real thing, not just what's on Nashville on TV. Well, on the TV show.
They're basically, this whole thing. This movie is based on the real singers, like the people that are writing and recording their songs, not people that are having other people write for them, kind of thing. You know what I mean? So it's based on just some artists that have are trying to survive in the if you're a songwriter in Nashville only, then you're writing songs for other people. If you're in the pop country world, I'd say 20% write their own songs. Am I wrong on saying that?
It's a tricky thing because I think that would have been true some years ago, but I think now they've almost gotten to the point now to where so many of them are just stuck in a room with the writers, so they can say they quote unquote co-wrote the song when who knows what they actually
25%.
Anyway,
we'll give them an extra 5. Yeah. Anyway, so, and not to look down. I mean, it is what it is. If you have a successful model, you keep trucking on that, right? There's no you can't
do it. You know, whatever. Yeah.
So and basically this whole thing's about how you survive in a digital world, being a singer-songwriter, and not just writing songs, or not just being an artist. Like, basically, how does one like me, who
I'm still trying to figure it out,
and like you, like how we're trying to figure.
I had somebody, a friend of mine, text me earlier. I was asking her something, and she said, I haven't seen you in forever, Mr. Big Rock Star. And I said, I said, man, I'm just trying to figure out how to make money and still love myself and life and my life in general. Right. You know, doing those things at the same time is tough.
I mean, you don't get to the point. You get success here and there every once in a while, right? But like, if you're not on top of the game, like Isbell is, and like Stapleton, you're once you get to that spot, you're not going to look back, right? So we've I don't say that I've even come close to what he has, but in my what I'm looking at myself, I've had some success that have touched on it, like been a paintbrush on a full page of a painting, what I mean?
You get a taste of what it could be.
I've had a couple really cool things happen that have been really cool. This documentary I'm excited about, and but yeah, it's just it's a struggle. You just got to keep on putting one foot in front of the other.
The bitch of it is there is no one way. Yeah. There's no map. There's no roadmap to it, and that's true for life in general, but especially in the arts entertainment field.
Right.
I've found you can't really ask someone who is successful how you should be successful,
right?
Because how it worked for them is not going to work for you,
right? Totally.
You got to figure out the Don Gallardo path or the Jacob Stifle path, or the whatever.
Touch on a quick little story about that.
Man, bring it on.
So. I'd say about a couple of years ago, I met this person that was at a show, and I was standing, was a friend of a friend, hanging out.
Yeah.
And someone was on stage and playing music that was completely different than their music, completely different than my music.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, this sucks. And I was like, well, what? And they're like, oh, this is horrible. And I'm like, well, there's about 150 people right there that will beg to differ with you.
Yeah.
And it's pretty. You probably know that people don't like your music. People don't like my music. But so it doesn't matter. There's people here to watch them. You should be like,
there's
cool.
Millions of people in the world.
Good for these people on stage right now playing because they've got people hanging out and loving what they're doing.
Yeah,
right. Yeah, that was kind of it. Oh, there it is. Look at that. Hey.
Yeah, it's working. Sorry, we were looking at the computer here to make sure it was recording, so the last hour and 5 minutes weren't for nothing at all. But yeah, we were just because we were in our serious NPR talking voices, and
that's right.
But yeah, there's millions of people in the world, and people are going to love it, and some people are going to hate it, and some people are not going to care at all.
Right,
and that goes for anything.
Yeah, that's it.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, the incomparable Don Gallardo. Anything you want to tell the folks? Where can they go check out your stuff or your social medias or your whatever you have you? DonGallardo.com, DonGallardo.com. You can Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. And what's your favorite of the social medias?
I'll tell you what my favorite is. I love Instagram.
Yeah.
The reason why I like it is because on Instagram I'm not hidden by any means, but on Facebook and Twitter, it's just going through a lot more people and a lot more channels. Where Instagram, I kind of it's a little more personal. So I
I can see that.
I do I post music and my personal life on Instagram, where I don't do that at all on Twitter or Facebook. Facebook, for me, is literally 100% music. That's it. I'm not going to do anything.
Stuff.
There's nothing else that I would, if I wasn't playing music, I would probably just delete the account and walk away. Same with Twitter. But Instagram, I would still keep because I love, it's just this cool little, not everyone checks it out, and the people that do are good friends, and they would.
Ladies and gentlemen, Don Gallardo, my good friend, thanks for coming.
Thank you, Mr. Stifle. I appreciate this wonderful. What?
Stiefel.
You just said don't get stifled earlier.
Well, yeah, this is the name of the podcast.
See, I said Stiefel, and then I thought, I heard you say Stifle, and I'm like, dang it.
Yeah, it's the
Gosh, now I hate
don't
myself.
Stifle. No, it's all good.
So you got one of those weird names like I got.
It is, yeah. No, but that's the podcast. That says Don't Stifle Me podcast.
Don't Stifle me.
Yeah. No, it's Don't Stifle Me.
Don't Stifle me.
Don't Stifle Me with Jacob Stiefel.
Don't Stifle me.
It's not confusing at all. I don't know why. Don't ever pick don't pick a confusing name.
Hey, I know.
Thanks for talking.
Thank you, buddy. Appreciate you.
I'm embracing the last name troubles. I've had them my entire life, and I'm just going to embrace them. It is Stiefel, 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 and the podcast is Don't Stifle Me, Stifle. Different words, folks, different words. Anyway, thank you so very, very much for listening. If you're in the Nashville area on this Thursday, May 4th, go check out Don and his band at the Fontanelle. He'll also be at the Bluebird Cafe Sunday, May 21st, if you want to check that out. Hopefully I get to go to that. We'll see. For more info on Don, make sure you check out DonGallardo.com. This info and more will all be on the show notes page, though, and that is at don'tstifleme.com/009. If you enjoyed this episode or any of the ones prior to this, please subscribe. If you want to leave a review or share with your friends, whatever makes you happy. That's what I'm here for. I want to help make you happy. Any feedback or questions, you can email those to jacob@don'tstifleme.com, and I will email you back. Most likely, 99% sure I'll email you back. You can check out the podcast social medias at DSM Podcast. My social medias are all at Jacob Stifle, and my merchandise tour date's jacobstiefel.com. And that concludes episode number 9. Make sure you come back for episode 10. It's probably my favorite episode we've done so far. It's definitely in the running for it. But I'll let Don and I play out here with Don's new song. Hope you like it. I hope you have a fantastic day.
I never said I was a preacher. I never said I was a poet. I never said the war is over. But you know I tried. Oh, I tried. You know I tried. I keep on kicking up the pavement. Watch the world go by. Oh, I tried. You know I tried. I keep on kicking up the pavement for some peace of mind. Said I was a rich man. I never wanted to hurt you. I never thought about Jesus. Ah, you know I tried. But I wanna know the reason. I wanna know the reason why we cannot live together for a little peace of mind. Oh, I tried. No, I try. Keep on kicking up the pavement for some peace of mind. Oh, I try. You know I try. Keep on kicking up the pavement for peace of mind. I lay my head on a pillow and I try to keep it simple. And if I wake up tomorrow, then it's another day to borrow. So I head out on the turnpike and try to take a hard ride. Give it on one more night. Take it as I go.
Don Gallardo, folks. Yeah, man.
I cut out the last verse or chorus and
Whatever.
stuff, but I figured you should.
I'm not leaving all of it, even right now. What I'm saying right now.
All right, I like it.